Welcome to another class on algebraic process. In today's class, we are going to go over expansion of algebraic terms. Before we delve into work example, let me explain what is meant by expansion. When we talk about expansion, expansion simply means opening of barriers or brackets. You understand? Expansion simply means opening of barrier or bracket. For example, let's say I have, please pay attention. Let's say we have a plus b and a minus b, and we are told to expand this. We are told to expand this algebraic terms. You know, we are having two brackets. This is bracket 1 and this is bracket 2. Now, when we open up this bracket, we have already expanded it. You understand? So expansion simply means opening of bracket. You understand? Or opening of barriers. Are you paying attention? Okay. Let's start with this example. Let's say we want to expand this. I want to expand this bracket. We want to expand these algebraic terms. Now, please pay attention, okay? You know, I have two terms in the first bracket. Please pay attention. I'm having two terms in the first bracket. The first term is what? A. And the second term is what? Plus B. Okay, in the second bracket as well, I'm having two terms. You understand? The first term is also A, and the second term is what? Negative B. Do you understand? Now, if I want to expand this bracket, I'm going to use the first term in the first bracket to multiply all the terms in the second bracket. Please pay attention. I'm going to use the first term in the first bracket to multiply all the terms in the second bracket. Now, what is the first term in the first bracket? The first term in the first bracket is what? A. Okay, so I'm going to have A into bracket. Do you understand? A minus B. Do you understand how I got this? If you do understand, reverse the video and watch the explanation again. Okay? Now, this time we multiply all the terms in this bracket. That's why I have this. Please pay attention. If you have x into bracket x plus y, this means that x is multiplying all the terms in this bracket. You understand? This x is multiplying all the terms in this bracket. So I will use this first term, the first term in the first bracket, to multiply all the terms in the second bracket. That's why I have a into bracket a minus b. Okay? Okay, put an additional sign. Now, because then the next step there is that I'm going to use the second term to multiply all the term in the second bracket. You understand? So I'm going to have plus b. The second term is what? Plus b. Okay? Plus b into bracket a minus b. Do you understand? If you don't understand, please pay attention. This is simple. Okay? Look, we are taught to expand this bracket. And I told you, expansion means removing barriers, removing brackets. You understand? So I want to remove the bracket. To remove the bracket, I'm going to use the first term, which is a, to multiply all the terms in the second bracket, which is what? A minus b. And as well, I'm going to use the second term, which is plus b, to multiply all the terms in the second bracket. Do you understand? By so doing, I'm going to take their products. A times a is what? A squared. A times negative b, that is what? Negative ab. Plus b times a, that is what? Plus b plus ab. Okay? Plus b times negative b, that is what? Negative b squared. Do you understand? Therefore, I'm going to have a squared negative ab plus negative ab. Oh, negative ab plus ab, that is what? 0. You understand? Just like having negative 1 plus 1, that is what? 0. So negative ab positive ab, that is what? 0. So there is no need of this. This has cancelled this. So I'm left with what? A minus b squared. Do you understand? Okay, let's take another example. Okay, please pay attention. Okay, it's simple. Just pay attention. Let's take another example. Let's say we have a plus b and a plus b, and we are asked to expand these algebraic terms. We are having two now. We have the first bracket and the second bracket. Now, if I want to expand this, don't forget, I'm going to use this first term. The first term is the first term in the first bracket is what? A. I'm going to use it to multiply all the terms in the second bracket. You understand? So I'm going to have a into bracket a plus b. This a plus b is the second bracket. You understand? And this a is the first term of the first bracket. You understand? So now I'm going to use the second term in the first bracket to multiply all the elements or terms in the second bracket. You understand? The second term in the first bracket is what? Plus b. So I'm going to have plus b into bracket the second bracket, which is what? B. Okay? Now let us expand. This will be what? A squared, because A times A is what? A squared. A times plus B, that is what? Plus AB. B times plus B times A, that will be what? Plus AB. And plus B times plus B, that will be what? Plus B squared. Do you understand? Okay? A squared plus AB plus AB plus B squared. That means I'm going to have A squared plus AB plus AB. That will be what? Plus 2B. You understand? Plus 2B plus B squared. Okay? Look at this. If I have x plus x, that is what? 2x. AB plus AB, that is what? 2AB. Do you understand? That's why I have this. Oh, sorry. This should be, that should be A here. 2AB. Do you understand? Okay? Can we solve this? Try this example. Let's say you are asked to expand T plus S and let's say V plus W, okay? V plus W. What will be your answer? Okay? Give me your answer and I'm going to give you the answer, okay? But I want to try it. If you get the answer right, I'm going to give you the answer now, okay? The answer today is what? This is the answer to this question. TV, are you paying attention? T times V is what? TV. Plus TW plus SV plus SW. You understand? The reason why we cannot write T squared is because, assuming, let's say we have T in this place, that this one will have been T squared. You understand? But we have V. Please pay attention. We have V. That means T times V, TV. T times W, TW. S times V, SV. S times W, SW. Do you understand? It's very simple. It's just like the same thing I did in this place. Okay? So if you get this as your answer, you are correct. If you didn't get this as your answer, then you have to watch the video again. Okay? So that will be all for this class. In our next class, we're going to go over past exam question. Okay? Welcome to another class on algebraic process. In today's class, we're going to learn more on how to expand algebraic terms. Okay? Let's start with the first question. We are asked to expand 2x plus y minus, all into brackets, 2x plus y. Please, let me rewrite this bracket as this. Permit me to write it. Okay, now we are asked to expand this. Pay attention. The first step here is that we're going to deal with the terms inside the bracket first. Okay, so look at this. I'm going to have 2x plus, okay, y. Now this negative, this bracket has -1. You understand? Though the 1 is invisible, okay, but there is a -1 at the front of this bracket. You understand? So -1 multiplied by 2x, that will give me -2x. Do you understand? Okay, -1 multiplied by +y, that will give me what? -y. Do you understand? So I'm done with this bracket now. Do you understand? So I'm going to have this. Okay, now let us proceed. For this, I'm going to have 2x. Okay, so let us proceed. Though there is we are seeing a positive sign here, there is also an invisible one. You understand? So +1 multiplied by y, that will be what? Positive y. +1 multiplied by -2x, that will be what? -2x. And +1 multiplied by -y, that will give us what? -y. Do you understand? Okay, so for this, we are going to have 2x minus 2x plus y minus y. Wow, this is one of the beautiful algebraic expansion that I've seen. This will give us 0. You understand? Okay, because 2x minus 2x is what? 0, and plus y negative y, that will be what? 0. So here I have 0. Now let's proceed to question number 2. We have 3a plus 2 all into bracket a minus 3a minus 2 all into brackets. Okay, we are asked to expand this. Don't forget, the first step is to deal with the terms inside the bracket. You understand? So for this, I'm going to have 3a plus 2 into bracket a minus. Now, you see, there is a negative sign at the front of this bracket. And because I have the negative sign, that means that this sign will multiply all the terms inside the bracket. You understand? So, though I'm only seeing a negative sign, there is an invisible one also. You understand? So, I'm going to have a -1. Okay? So, -1 multiplied by 3a. That means I'm going to have minus 3a. -1 multiplied by -2. I'm going to have +2. Okay? Okay, there is no need of this bracket again. So we are left with only this bracket. The aim of expansion is to remove barriers. You understand? Okay, the aim of expansion, don't forget, is to remove barriers. You see, we have how many barriers here? We have the first barriers and the second barriers. So the aim of this expansion is to remove barriers. Do you understand? Okay, so I'm going to have 3a plus 2 multiplied by a, 2a. 2 times negative a, negative 6a. 2 times positive 2, that is what? Positive 4. Okay, so now, is there any like term in this expression? There is. I have 3a plus 2a, that is what? 5a. 5a, okay, let's go. 5a minus 6a plus 4, that will give me what? Negative a plus 4, or 4 minus a. That's the answer. Okay, we have the third question. We are asked to expand 4 all into bracket a squared minus 3a into bracket 2b plus a plus 7ab. Okay? Don't forget, the step is to first deal with the terms inside the first bracket. You understand? Okay? So I'm going to have 4 into bracket a squared. Now, the aim of expansion is to remove barriers. Okay? And barriers that we're talking about here is bracket. Okay? So we want to remove the bracket. For this, I'm going to have a squared minus 3a multiplied by 2b. That will be what? Negative 6ab. Negative 3a multiplied by positive a. That will be what? Negative 3a squared plus 7ab. Okay? Close the bracket. Now, I've already dealt with the first bracket. Now, there is a larger bracket here, so I have to deal with it also. Okay? I have to deal with it also. So for this, I'm going to have 4 multiplied by a squared. That will be what? 4a squared. 4 multiplied by negative 6ab. That will be what? Negative 24ab. 4 multiplied by negative 3a squared. That will be what? Negative 12a squared. Then 4 multiplied by positive 7ab. That will be what? Positive 28ab. Do you understand? The first step, I deal with this bracket. Then the second step, I deal with this bracket. Okay? Now, is there any terms that I can add together? Yeah, there is. I have 4a squared here. I have negative 12a squared here. 4a squared, negative 12a squared. That will give us what? Negative 8a squared. So I'm going to have negative 8a squared. Okay? I have negative 24ab here and positive 28ab here. Negative 24ab, positive 28ab. That will give us what? Plus 4ab. You understand? So I can write this as 4ab minus 8a squared. Okay? That is the correct answer. Now let's proceed to the fourth question. Okay, let's look at the fourth question. We are asked to remove the brackets. Okay? Now let's start. We are going to start from the term inside the bracket. You understand? So I'm going to have here 3 into bracket x squared. Now, negative 2x multiplied by y. That will give me what? Negative 2xy. So I'm going to have negative 2xy. Negative 2x multiplied by positive 3x. That will give me what? Negative 6x squared. Okay? Negative 6x squared. Now, I'm done with this bracket. Now, let's move to this bracket. For this, I'm going to have positive 3xy multiplied by 1. That will give me what? Positive 3xy. Okay? Positive 3xy multiplied by x. That will give me positive 3x squared y. Do you understand? I'm only having x here. X times x will give me x squared. 3 multiplied by x, that will give me 3x squared y. Do you understand? Okay? Now, I'm done with the bracket that is inside this bracket. Okay? I'm done with the bracket that is inside this bracket. Now, we can now proceed to open this bracket now. I'm going to use this bracket. I'm going to open this bracket using the coefficient that is at the front. You understand? The coefficient at the front of this bracket is what? 3. So I'm going to multiply all the terms inside the bracket by this 3. You understand? That is what we mean by algebraic expansion. You understand? That is what we mean by expansion. So I'm going to have 3 times x squared. That will give us what? 3x squared. Okay? So I'm going to have 3x squared. 3 times 2, negative 2xy. That is what? Negative 6xy. 3 multiplied by negative 6x squared. That will give me negative 18x squared. 3 multiplied by positive 3xy. That will give me positive 9xy. and 3 multiplied by positive 3x squared y. That will give me positive 9x squared y. Okay? Now, I have removed all the brackets. Let's see if we can collect like terms. If there are terms that are similar that we can add together. Okay? We have 3x squared, negative 18x squared, negative 6xy, positive 9xy, positive 9x squared y. Okay? Now, I'm going to rearrange this. Okay? 3x squared, negative 18x squared. That will give me negative 15x squared. Okay? Now, negative 6xy, positive 9xy. That will give me what? Positive 3xy. Then, I'm going to have 9x squared y. Now, this can be rearranged as this. I'm going to have 9x squared y minus 15x squared plus 3xy. Okay? That is the answer. Let's look at question number 5. We are asked to expand 2 minus 5 all into bracket a multiplied by a minus 2b minus into bracket a minus b all into bracket squared. See, the aim of expansion is to read all the brackets. You understand? Is to get rid of the bracket. So let's deal with the term inside this big bracket. You understand? Let's deal with the term inside the big bracket. So for this, I'm going to have 2 minus 5. Okay? A multiplied by a, that is a squared. A multiplied by negative 2b, that will be what? Negative 2ab. Okay? Now, I want you to pay attention. Let's deal with the second bracket. You see, if we have a minus b squared, this is also the same thing as a minus b, a minus b. Do you understand? Please, I want you to pay attention. This is simple, okay? I just took this, a minus b squared. This is the expression, you understand? So, let us deal with it. I'm going to have a multiplied by what? A multiplied by a minus b, and then minus b multiplied by a minus b. Just like the previous example that I did, you understand? You see, I just take this out, okay? So, I want to solve this so that you can see. By the time I'm done, I'm going to write it back. Are you paying attention? So, a minus b squared is also the same as a minus b multiplied by a minus b. You understand? So I expand it. I have a multiplied by all the terms in this bracket and negative b multiplied by all the terms in the first bracket. Do you understand? So for this, I'm going to have a times a is what? A squared. A times negative 1, that is what? Negative a. Minus b times negative b multiplied by a, that is negative bab. Okay? No, I think something is wrong. Sorry. This should be a minus b. You understand? The first term, which is a, we multiply all the terms in the second bracket. That's why I have this. And the second term, which is negative b, we multiply all the terms in the first bracket. That's why I have this. Do you understand? So a times a is what? A squared. A times negative b, that is what? Negative ab. Okay? Negative ab. Please, do you understand? Okay? So for this, I'm going to have negative b. Okay, negative b multiplied by negative b, that is what? Positive b squared. Okay? For this, I'm going to have a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Do you understand? That is the expansion of a minus b squared. Okay? Now, having known that the expansion of this is this, so let me put it inside the bracket. I'm going to have a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Do you understand? So, you know, the reason why I brought this a minus b squared, I brought it out is because I want to show you how I got this. You understand? So, by the time I expand this, I arrive at this answer. Okay? And that's why I got it here. Do you understand? So, it's very simple. Okay? Now, let us proceed with our solution. For this, I'm going to have 2 minus 5 all into bracket a squared minus 2ab. Now, I'm going to open this bracket using this negative, okay? This is negative 1, though the 1 is invisible, you understand? So, I'm going to have negative 1 multiplied by a squared, that's what? Negative a squared. Negative 1 multiplied by negative 2ab, that will be what? Positive 2ab. And then negative 1 multiplied by positive b squared, that will be what? Negative b squared. Do you understand? Okay? Now, let us proceed. Having dealt with the brackets inside this big bracket, we can now use this negative 5 to open all the brackets, you understand? Because the goals of the expansion is to get rid of all the brackets in our expression, okay? That is why we call it algebraic expansion, you understand? Expansion of bracket that has terms that have both numbers and letter, you understand? So let's proceed. For this, I'm going to have 2 negative 5 multiplied by a squared. That will give us negative 5a squared. Negative 5 multiplied by negative 2ab. I'm going to have positive 10ab. Okay? Negative 5 multiplied by negative a squared. That will give us positive 5a squared. Okay? Negative 5 multiplied by positive 2ab. That will give us negative 10ab. Okay? Negative 5 multiplied by negative b squared. That will be positive 5b squared. Do you understand? So from this point, we are going to collect like terms, okay? For this, I'm going to have minus 5a squared plus 5a squared, okay, plus 10ab minus 10ab plus 5b squared, then plus 2, okay, plus 2. Do you understand? Okay, this negative 5a squared and positive 5a squared, we cancel each other, okay? That will be 0. Positive 10ab and negative 10ab, that will be what? 0. So I'm left with what? 5b squared plus 2. That is the answer. Okay, let's proceed to question number 6. Okay, we have question number 6. We are asked to expand 24p minus 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5p minus q minus 2 multiplied by p plus 2q plus 3q. You see, we are going to deal with this step by step. Okay, let's start by dealing with the bracket inside this big bracket. Okay, for this I'm going to have 24p minus 2, put this curly bracket. Okay, I don't know how to, let me just put the curly bracket. Okay, 3 multiplied by 5p, that is 15p. 3 multiplied by negative q, that is what? Negative 3q. Okay. Okay, let's put this curly. Okay, I think this is where the curly bracket ends. Okay, look at this. Pay attention. We have the larger bracket. This is the larger bracket. You understand? Now we have another bracket, which is what? This is it. Okay, and we have 2 small brackets. Do you understand what I just did? We have 3 brackets here. The first bracket is here. Okay, the second bracket is this. Do you understand? And the third bracket are these 2. Do you understand? Okay, now we want to deal with the smallest bracket, the 2 small brackets. That is the bracket inside this bracket. Okay, these are the 2 brackets. Do you understand? So for this, I'm going to have 3 multiplied by 5p, that is what? 15p. 3 multiplied by negative q, that is what? Negative 3q. Now let us open this second smaller bracket by negative 2. For this, I'm going to have negative 2 multiplied by p. That will be what? Negative 2p. Abi? Negative 2 multiplied by positive 2q. That will be what? Negative 4q. You understand? And put the second small, put the bracket. You understand? Now, okay, let us have plus 3q. Okay, you see, when you are dealing with algebraic expansion, it is very, very important that you pay attention to how the bracket is arranged. Okay, you start with the bracket, the smaller bracket first. Let me just put it like that. You first solve for the smaller bracket. You understand? Then you proceed. Okay. Now we are done with the 2 brackets. Now we are now going to proceed with this second bracket. Okay. We are going to use the coefficient of this second bracket to open the bracket. The coefficient of this second bracket is what? 2. So I'm going to multiply all the terms here by 2. Do you understand? So let us proceed. For this, I'm going to have 24p minus, okay, put the largest bracket. 2 multiplied by 15p, that is what? 30p. 2 multiplied by negative 3q, that is what? Negative 6q. 2 multiplied by negative 2p, that is what? Negative 4p and negative 8q. Okay? So there is no need of putting this bracket again since we have already opened it by the coefficient. Now I'm going to have plus 3q. Do you understand? Okay? Now let us proceed. For this, I'm going to have 24p. Now I'm having a negative sign here. I'm going to use this negative sign to open the bracket. Though I'm only having a negative sign, there is an invisible 1. You understand? So for this becomes a negative 1. Negative 1 multiplied by 30p. That is what? Negative 30p. Negative 1 multiplied by negative 6q. That becomes positive 6q. Negative 1 multiplied by negative 4p. That becomes positive 4p. And negative 1 multiplied by negative 8q. That becomes positive 8q. And negative 1 multiplied by positive 3q. That becomes negative 3q. You understand? So I've removed all the brackets. Now, having removed all the brackets, let's see if we can connect like terms. Yeah, we can. Look at this. We have 24p here. So I'm going to have 24p plus 4p minus 30p plus 6q plus 8q minus 3q. Do you understand? 24p plus 4p minus 30p plus 6q plus 8q minus 3q. Okay? Now, 24p plus 4p, that is what? 28p. Okay? So, 28p minus 30p. Okay? Plus 6q plus 8q. That will give us plus 14q. So, I'm going to have plus 14q minus 3q. Okay? Now, 28p minus 30p, that will give me negative 2p, negative 2p, okay, plus 14q minus 3q, that will give me, that is plus 11q, okay, so I can rewrite this expression as 11q minus 2p, that is the answer. So that will be all for this class. In our next class, we are going to proceed by solving series of past exam questions on these topics. In today's class, we're going to go over some past exam questions specifically under this particular topic, expansion of algebraic terms. Okay, so let's start with question number 1. We are asked to expand the expression 3a minus xy. That's question number 1. 3a minus xy. Please, I want you to pay attention, okay? And 3a plus xy. 3a plus xy. Now, don't forget, in our previous class, I'm very sure you can do this. If you are part of our previous class, you understand, you can do this. So the first step here is that we are going to take the first term in the first bracket. You understand? This is the first bracket, okay? This is the first bracket. This is the first bracket. This is the second bracket, okay? Now we are going to take the first term in the first bracket. The first term is the term that came first, and this is the first term. 3a is the first term, and then we are going to use it to multiply all the elements, all the terms in the second bracket. Do you understand? Okay, so I'm going to have 3a into bracket all the elements in the second bracket. The second bracket is what? 3a plus xy. Okay, now I'm going to use the second term in the first bracket. Do you understand? I'm going to use it to multiply all the second bracket. You understand? The second term in the first bracket is what? Negative xy. So I'm going to use negative xy to multiply all the terms in the second bracket. So I'm going to have negative xy into bracket 3a plus xy. Okay, now open the bracket. We're going to have 3a multiplied by 3a. That will give us what? 9a squared. Okay, 9a squared. 3a multiplied by xy, that will give us what? Positive 3a xy, and negative xy multiplied by 3a, that will give us what? Negative 3a xy, and negative xy multiplied by positive xy, that will give me negative x squared y squared. Do you understand? Okay, now let's see if there is a like term that we can connect. Yeah, we have positive 3axy and negative 3xy. That means that this will cancel this. You understand? So I'm left with 9a squared. Are you paying attention? 9a squared negative x squared y squared. That is the final answer. Okay, that is the expansion of this question. Okay, let's proceed to question number 2. Find the value of c if x squared minus 5x plus c is equals to x minus 8 multiplied by x plus 3. Okay, now how do we find the value of c? We are asked to find the value of c. Okay, how do we find the value of c? You know, if this equation is equals to this, that means that if I take this product, I can get the value of c. You understand? That is, if I take the product of x minus 8 and x plus 3, I can get the value of 6, because I'm going to arrive at this and a typical equation like this. Should we let us try this? Okay, I want to try it. If you get the answer, then pause this video, then try the question. When you are done, play the video to check, maybe you get the answer. Okay, now let's start from the left hand side of the right hand side of the equation. So this will be x squared minus 5x plus c is equals to, now we are going to take the product of x minus 8, x plus 3. Don't forget that we are dealing with expansion of algebraic terms, you understand? So now let us remove the bracket. For this, I'm going to have x into bracket x plus 3 and negative 8 into bracket x plus 3. Now for this, we are going to have x squared plus 3x minus 8x plus 8 times 3 is what? 24. So I'm going to have negative 24. Okay, negative 24. Do you understand? Now we have here x squared minus 5x plus c. Okay, x squared minus 5x plus c is equals to x squared. Now we have positive 3x and negative 8x. That will be what? Negative 5x. So I'm going to have negative 5x, negative 24. Do you understand? Now look at this. Check. I want you to check both equations if they are the same. You can see that we have x squared here, I have x squared here, the same. I have negative 5x here, I have negative 5x here, the same. Now I have positive c here, I have negative 24. That means that c is equals to negative 24. Do you understand? C is equals to negative 24. Do you understand what I'm saying? So c is equals to negative 24. That is the value of c that makes this equation to be equals to this. Okay, let's have the third question. If m plus 1 and m minus 3 are factors of m squared minus km plus c, we are asked to find the value of k and c. You see, before we find the value of k and c, we must first learn how to interpret the question. You see, if they say that maybe two numbers is the factors of another numbers. For example, let's take for instance 6, 3 and 2 are factors of 6. You understand? So now, if 3 and 2 are factors of 6, if we take the product of 3 and 2, we must arrive at 6. Is that not it? So that's it. Look at this. If m plus 1 and m minus 3 are factors of this quadratic equation, by the time we take the product of their factors, we must arrive at this. You understand? And product means multiplication. You understand? So now I'm going to take the product of m plus 1 and m minus 3. You understand? Because it is after taking the product that I can arrive at the answer. You understand? I will use the equation that I get having taken their product to get the value of k and c. Now let's go. Now for this, I'm going to have m plus 1 and m minus 3. You understand? Must be equals to what? M squared minus km plus c. So let's take the product. For this, I'm going to have m into bracket m minus 3 and then plus positive 1 into bracket m minus 3 equals to m squared minus km plus c. Okay, so m multiplied by m, that is m squared. M multiplied by negative 3, that is what? Negative 3m. Positive 1 multiplied by m, that is what? Positive m. And then positive 1 multiplied by negative 3m, that is what? Negative 3. Must be equals to m squared minus km plus c. Okay, for this I'm going to have m squared negative 3m positive m, that will give us what? Negative 2m. Negative 3 is equals to m squared minus km plus c. Now both of them are now a quadratic equation. Now from this left hand side of the equation, I have m squared here, I have m squared also. Now to get the value of km, pay attention. Since this m, please pay attention, this m squared, that's it for this. This negative 2m must be equals to this, and this negative 3 must be equals to c. You understand? So for this, I'm going to have negative 2m must be equals to what? Negative km. Don't forget that I'm asked to find the value of what? K. Okay, I'm asked to find the value of k. Now I'm going to divide both sides by m. You understand? So I'm going to have this divided by m and this divided by m. This m will cancel this m, and this m will cancel this m. Now I'm left with what? Negative 2 is equals to k. Negative k. Now you have to pay attention. We are looking for the value of k, not the value of negative k. So for this, I'm going to divide both sides by minus. You understand? So this will divide by this. So k will be equals to 2. Do you understand? Now let us find the value of c. For this, we can easily get the value of c. C will be equals to what? Negative 3. You understand? So that is the value of k and c. The value of k is 2 and the value of c is negative 3. Just to understand. Okay, in today's class, we're going to go over past exam question on this specific topic, expansion of algebraic terms. Okay, let's start with the first question. We are asked to find the coefficient of w in the expansion of 8w plus 3 multiplied by 8w minus 3. We are asked to find the coefficient of w. Okay, coefficient of w. Now, in 8w plus 3 multiplied by 8w minus 3. Okay, now I want you to pay attention. Before we can find the coefficient of w, we have to take the product. You understand? We have to expand the bracket. So let us expand. For this, I'm going to have 8w plus 3 and 8w minus 3. Now, 8w multiplied by 8w, that will be 64w squared. 64w squared. Then 8w multiplied by negative 3, that will be what? Negative 24w, and plus 3 multiplied by 8w, that will be what? Positive 24w, and plus 3 multiplied by negative 3, that will be what? Negative 9. For this, I'm going to have 64w squared, negative 24w squared, and negative 24w and positive 24w, that will be what? 0. You understand? So I'm left with what? 64w squared and minus 9. Okay, now I want you to pay attention. We are looking for the coefficient of w. What is the meaning of coefficient? Coefficient is the number at the front of a particular or at the front of the letter. You understand? The coefficient of w is the number at the front of that letter w. You understand? So now you can see that in this equation, having expand what we have here, I have 64w squared minus 9. That means that there is no w. You understand? There is no w in this equation. That means that the coefficient of w in this equation is what? 0. Okay, the coefficient of w in this expansion is 0. That is the answer. 0 is the answer. Okay, now let's move to another question. We are asked to find the coefficient of xy in the expansion of 2x minus y plus 4 multiplied by 5x plus 3y. Okay, now let's take the product of the bracket that we have. We have 2x minus y plus 4 multiplied by 5x plus 3y. Please, I want you to pay attention. For this, we are going to have 5x. We multiply all the elements in this bracket. So I'm going to have 5x into bracket 2x minus y plus 4. Then the second term here, we multiply all the elements in this bracket. So I'm going to have plus 3y into bracket 2x minus y plus 4. Do you understand? Okay. 5x multiplied by 2x, that will be what? 10x squared. 5x multiplied by negative y, that will be what? Negative 5xy. Okay. 5x multiplied by 4, that will be what? 20x. Okay. Positive 20x. Now let's proceed to the second aspect. Positive 3y multiplied by 2x, that will give me what? Positive 6xy. So I'm going to have positive 6xy. Positive 3y multiplied by negative y, that will give me negative 3y squared. Okay? Positive 3y multiplied by positive 4, that will be what? Positive 12y. Okay? Now, let's see if you can collect like terms. We have negative 5xy here, and I have positive 6xy here. I'm going to have 10x squared minus 3y squared, negative 5xy, positive 6xy, positive 20x, and plus 12y. Okay? Now, we have negative 5xy, positive xy. For this, I'm going to have 10x squared minus 3y squared. Okay? For this, I'm going to have plus xy plus 20x plus 12y. Okay? Now, I think this is the simplified version of this expansion. Now, we are asked to find the coefficient of xy. From this expansion, what is the coefficient of xy? The coefficient of xy is what? Plus 1. There is an invisible 1 in this place. You understand? 1xy is also the same thing as what? Xy. You understand? So, the coefficient of xy is what? The coefficient of xy is positive 1. Okay? positive 1 or 1. Okay, that is the coefficient of xy. That is the solution to that question. Okay, the next question, we are asked to find the coefficient of x in 2x minus 3 multiplied by 3x plus 8. So let us expand the bracket. 2x minus 3 multiplied by 3x plus 8. 2x multiplied by 3x, that will give us what? 6x squared. 2x multiplied by positive 8, that will give us what? Positive 16x. Negative 3 multiplied by 3x, that will give us what? Negative 9x. Negative 3 multiplied by positive 8, that will give us what? Negative 24. You understand? You see, I just skip a process. The process that I skip is this: 2x into bracket 3x plus 8 and negative 3 into bracket 3x plus 8, because I am very sure that if you are part of the first, second, third and fourth class or on this topic, you should be able to solve this. You understand? That's why I skip this process. Okay, so by the time you take the product of this, you are going to arrive at this. Do you understand? Okay, let's proceed. For this, I have 6x squared positive 16x negative 9x and minus 24. Now I can positive 16x negative 9x, that is positive 7x. Okay, so I'm going to have 6x squared positive 7x, okay, negative 24. Now I want to check what is the coefficient of x in this expansion. The coefficient of x in that expansion is our answer. Now what is the coefficient of x? The coefficient of x is what? Positive 7. Okay, the coefficient of x is positive, okay, positive 7. Okay, this is the coefficient of x. You understand? The number that is at the front of x is the coefficient of x. You understand? Let's say we are asked to find the coefficient of x squared. The coefficient of x squared in this expansion is what? 6. You understand? And the constant term is what? Negative 24. But we are asked to find the coefficient of x, and the coefficient of x here is what? Positive 7. So that is the solution to that question. Okay, the next question, we are asked to find the coefficient of xy in the expansion of x minus 4y and 3x plus 2y. Please, I want you to pay attention, okay? For this, I'm going to have x minus 4y and 3x plus 2y. For this, the first term here, we multiply all the terms in this second bracket. So I'm going to have x into bracket 3x plus 2y, okay, negative 4y into bracket 3x plus 2y. We have already learned all this in our first, second and third class. I'm very sure you can do this. Okay, so let's proceed. For this, I'm going to have 3x squared plus 2xy minus 12xy minus 8y squared. You understand? Okay, for this, I'm going to have 3x squared, okay, plus 2xy negative 2xy. That means I'm going to have negative 10xy negative 8x squared. Okay, now we are looking for the coefficient of xy. The coefficient of xy is the number at the front of xy in our equation. Now, what is the numbers at the front of xy? The numbers at the front of xy in this equation is what? Negative 10. So the coefficient of xy is what? Negative 10. You have to pay attention to the sign, okay? You have to pay attention to the sign. Okay, let's proceed to another question. Okay, the next question. We are asked to find the coefficient of x in the expansion of 3x plus 2 and 5x minus 8. Please, I want you to pay attention. Let us take the product. Let us expand. I'm going to have 3x plus 2 and 5x minus 8. Don't forget the goal. The goal is to find the coefficient of x. So let us expand this. I'm going to have 3x into bracket 5x minus 8 and plus 2 into bracket 5x minus 8. Okay? 3x multiplied by 5x, I'm going to have 15x squared. Okay? 3x multiplied by negative 8, I'm going to have negative 24x. Okay? Plus 2 multiplied by 5x, I'm going to have positive 10x. Okay? Plus 2 multiplied by negative 8, I'm going to have negative 16. Do you understand? Okay? I'm going to have 15x squared negative 24x positive 10x. That will give me negative 14x. Do you understand? So in this place, I'm going to have negative 14x negative 16. Now, don't forget the goal. The goal is to determine the value of x. I mean, the coefficient of x. The coefficient of x in this quadratic equation is what? Negative 14. Okay? The coefficient of x in that quadratic equation is negative 14 because that is the numbers at the front of x. Okay? So the answer the coefficient of x is negative 14. That is the answer. Do you understand? Okay, let's look at the last question for this class. We are asked to find the coefficient of x in 3x squared minus 2x plus 7 multiplied by 2x plus 3. Okay, we are going to have 2x plus 3 multiplied by 3x squared minus 2x plus 7. Let us take the product and expand the bracket. For this, I'm going to have 2x into bracket 3x squared minus 2x plus 7. Okay, then plus 3 into bracket 3x squared minus 2x plus 7. Okay, now 2x multiplied by 3x squared, I'm going to have 6x raised to the power of 3. 2x multiplied by negative 2x, I'm going to have negative 4x squared. 2x multiplied by positive 7, I'm going to have positive 14x. Then plus 3 multiplied by 3x squared, I'm going to have plus 9x squared. Then plus 3 multiplied by negative 2x, I'm going to have negative 6x. Then plus 3 multiplied by plus 7, I'm going to have positive 21. Do you understand? Okay. Now, let us see if we can collect like terms. For this, I'm going to have 6x raised to the power of 3, negative 4x squared, positive 9x squared, positive 14x, negative 6x. I'm collecting like terms, okay? I'm collecting like terms, bringing the terms that are similar to each other so that I can add them or subtract them, okay? So plus 21. Do you understand? For this, I'm going to have 6x raised to the power of 3. Now, negative 4x squared, positive 9x squared. That will give me positive 5x squared, positive 5x squared. Now, plus 14x, negative 6x. That will give me what? That is 8x. Plus 8x plus 21, okay? Now, having collect like terms, we arrive at this equation. The goal is to determine the coefficient of x. Now, in this equation, the coefficient of x is what? Plus 8. You understand? So, the answer to this question is 8 or plus 8. Do you understand? So, 8 is also the same thing as plus 8. Don't get confused, okay? So, you might not find plus 8 in your in the options. You understand? If you didn't have plus 8, if you have only 8, you can choose 8. You understand? 8 is also the same thing as positive 8 or plus 8. You understand what I'm saying? So that's it. Because this kind of question usually come out in the objective, okay? It's an objective question most of the time. So that's the we are done for this class. See you in the next class.